Me do it for the love and I do it for the likes. Do it for the love and I do it for the likes. Make them know success don't come overnight. Make them know a substance over hype. Do it for the love and I do it for the likes.
Very good night to you guys. It's been a while, a week and a couple days, but I'm here again, dropping my knowledge as usual. You know, those seeds, let them germinate. It's going to be such a beautiful thing. Now, what I have for you guys this evening, I want us to examine two words, two very simple words: the word knowledge and the word belief. We're going to dig a little deeper into them because those two words, lots of times they're misused, misunderstood, misinterpreted. So we don't want to get them mixed up. So let me have my first guest on my program, no other than the one and only definition of versatility, DJ Smalls. Good night to you, Mr. Smalls.
Yeah, good night.
How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah, so we would have this conversation, you know, this is Bittersweet Voices. So I need to have a conversation about these two words. But let me first define a dictionary definition of the word knowledge. Now, knowledge, here we have, are facts, information, and skills acquired by a person through personal experience or education. The theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. That's what knowledge is described to be. Now we have the word belief. Belief is an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. So that's an acceptance. It also has a meaning of trust, faith, or confidence in someone or something. So the distinct difference off the bat that I see between the two is like, one, you have had the experience, you can verify, and you can attest to your personal information and knowledge. The second one is information that is most likely relied upon and accepted based on your opinion and how you receive it. And also, it's accepted by faith, F-A-I-T-H. Faith, which is described, according to the Bible, as the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So, we're dealing with belief and faith. So, what's your opinion on the misuse and misinterpretation and misunderstanding of these two simple yet complex words?
Well, belief and faith. Okay. You ever heard people say that seeing is believing?
Yes, I've heard that expression, definitely.
And hearing, well, would go for any sense that you got, right? Like if I tell you something is sweet, you would have to believe what I'm telling you.
In other words, you mean like I have to prove it?
Right. And how do you prove it? Not just by me telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You would know if it's sweet if you taste it.
So
now, no,
having
like you could see, yeah.
Right.
So you could see that knowing is more evidence than believing.
Yeah, because you see, when you know, you can actually, as people say, you take the responsibility of like vouching for yourself, if there's such a word. You know, when you know, you have had the experience, so you can test the authenticity. You can verify the authenticity of that experience, right? But then if you're going to go with a belief where someone else has provided the facts to you, so you're accepting,
so-called facts.
Yes, you're accepting based upon your trust and faith in that person or entity that has provided facts. So my charge to you this evening is to ask you, with relation to living this life, with relation to all aspects of you living this life, I think we should go in the direction of knowledge, because even in as I always say, I'm not a Christian anymore, but I'm a believer in God, and I believe I'm very spiritual now, and I would say you trust your gut instinct, which for me is the God in me that speaks to me, my intuition, and you take the responsibility to actually verify the information before you take it as truth, right?
So, since we are on this topic with knowledge and belief, right? Now, what about the Bible? The Bible says, or I should say God said, for a lack of knowledge, a man shall perish. Give me some light on that.
Well, I've been a Christian since I was 14. I backslid, I went back into the church, came out again. And all this popping in and out is like something that was so unsettled with me that I didn't even realize until I got a little more mature. And then I realized that there are lots of questions not answered. But in terms of, for a lack of knowledge, a people shall perish, I, as a Christian, had taken it very seriously, because it actually pushes you in the direction to do your due diligence. You go searching for the knowledge. And according to the Christian faith, the knowledge comes from the Bible, which is from God. But when I check into that, for a lack of knowledge, people shall perish. Then there's something I had told you that we were questioning about when you got into the knowledge, Adam and Eve in the garden. It's kind of contradictory to me. I don't know if anyone can drop in the comments. We're going to put it to you, and you can respond to probably clarify. The part with the
well, in the
scripture.
beginning, God placed the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden.
Oh yes, that's it.
And that tree was a forbidden tree. The tree of knowledge was forbidden. So therefore, I find it kind of confusing or bittersweet.
Yeah, it's confusing to me, and only after I got older, I dare question,
Because God is saying, you shall perish if you seek knowledge from the tree of knowledge. And then later on, He's telling you, for a lack of knowledge, man shall perish. So
yeah, that's pretty confusing for me, because I would have imagined that that if that's the tree of knowledge that is essential to life, that you would have been able to freely pick from it, because that's what's gonna prevent you from perishing ultimately.
Yeah.
So unless the knowledge has to be seeked out outside of the tree. Maybe the Bible, right? The Bible is probably the knowledge he's speaking about. And then if the Bible is the knowledge he's speaking about, there's so many varying translations of the Bible. And then the other thing too, there's so many denominations of, in the religion. So which knowledge?
This knowledge that God is speaking about, He has this knowledge.
Well, of course, He's all-seeing and He's omnipotent, all-powerful, right? That's how God
but
is
if He
described.
has this knowledge and doesn't want Adam and Eve to get this knowledge, where does that put them? Without knowledge.
Well, it's supposed to put them at a disadvantage.
Yeah, because
That's for sure.
in
perishing.
let's say in society right now, if someone has no knowledge, you kind of say, well, they're stupid.
Yes. And they're going to have a difficult time to, go through this life.
So I would
without
find
knowledge.
it that like Adam and Eve were stupid. And then they went.
They disobeyed. Well, Eve disobeyed, they said, right? But I said Eve disobeyed, and she had she had a greater quest for knowledge than Adam, dare I say.
Yeah.
So Eve, became the evil one by daring to follow the serpent's advice and take from the tree of
Also,
knowledge.
it would seem as though the serpent had knowledge too, because he could have shed light on, if you eat the fruit, you shall not die, or you'll not surely die. So this serpent or the devil would have had the same knowledge that God had. And I don't, when they ate from this tree and gained this knowledge, to me, they were on the same level with God.
Yeah, because
at the same time.
Yes, there was another verse I think that came out of that pointed to the verse. I forgive me, you Bible guys might y'all might know the verse, but something to the effect that when this happened, when they ate this fruit and they gained this knowledge, and the knowledge that they gained was the knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah.
Correct?
Or right.
Or right and wrong. They got the knowledge, the secrets of the whole thing that's going on in the world, right? So I thought that would have empowered them more, but actually, God actually kind of confessed to that, because there's a part he said, what was the direct words? Something to the effect that after they've eaten this from this tree, they have become like us.
Right.
Those were God's words,
yeah,
right?
He said he was speaking to them, or the other gods, I would say, because he said, get them out of this Garden of Eden,
right?
For they have become like us. Now,
Yes.
who is us?
But not only that, they have become like us. It implies that that was not the plan.
Yeah.
Right? So he was preventing them from eating from the tree of knowledge,
And becoming like him.
so that they not become
knowledgeable
like him. So me personally, if I'm going by the Bible, I would translate it now that all the offsprings that, I call myself a goddess, right? So I would say that we have this God, we're gods and goddesses, because he himself said it.
Yeah.
And if he could say something like that, and I see the potential in myself right now, as I've grown on my journey and I'm going, I can see the greatness I'm becoming, So why would he see that as a threat? He put that tree there with all that knowledge.
Now, the next thing that he said in the Bible is that the fear of God is the beginning of knowledge. Now, where does that put us now?
Yeah, that, it really confused me. But coming back to the point of all this discussion is to talk about knowledge and belief. So you see, the Bible is based on information, a collection of stories of guys from way back when who it is said, because it's coming through the generations. I was not there when Moses gave the information and all of that for the Bible, so I cannot say that I have the knowledge that I can say I know that the Bible is the truth. I cannot, there's no way for me to trace anything. But with my spirituality that I have chosen to go after now, there's lots of historical information and evidence that can attest to the way of life of my foreparents and my ancestors as real living people who walk the face of the earth. That's knowledge that can be traced and proven and verified to the authenticity, right back to Kemet. But with the Bible, I'm asking pastors, I'm asking leaders, where is the historical representation of the characters of the Bible? And no one is giving me direct information. I even asked, where did the Bible come from in the first place? Well, I did some research, and I know it's from the council. They had a council, a Nicene council that came together, and they have this decision to translate it with what guy name, forgive me, but you can do your research, because I'm just dropping seeds of knowledge to you. But it was decided at the Nicene Council to put this Bible together. You know? So you guys, you know, I asked my Christian brother if he knew anything about the Nicene Council, and he said he never heard of it. You know? So
Is that to do with like some Caesar or one of those?
I think it was a Roman emperor,
Yeah.
not Caesar. What was the name?
I can't
Oh my
remember.
gosh, I can't remember the name. But Constantine, yes, Emperor Constantine.
Yeah.
He was the one who ordered the translation, right,
Yeah,
of the Bible.
yeah. He's the
Yes,
one.
he's the one.
responsible for Roman Catholic Church and everything, you know.
Which is the beginning with the biblical beginning.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
And another thing, one more thing. Speaking of that, when you trace history with the Roman Catholic Church and all of that, right? It would give the impression that the Bible was around about probably 7,000 years or so ago. But then there was existence prior to this. What preceded the Bible? Why is everyone stuck up to where we were giving it, where it was given to us at slavery? That's the introduction, we African people. But no one wants to discuss what happened prior to slavery. What were our ancestors who achieved so much before that time? What were they doing? What was their religion? What was their spiritual practices? You know, I've heard lots of stories that it's evil, it's the devil, it's satanic, it's demon worship. And when I personally, as I say, I'm sharing my journey, when I personally did my research and I looked into it, I discovered that it's nothing but empowering and holy, if you may call it that. And it's all to attune you to nature. You know, and using the herbs of the land, the spirituality is utilizing all all that nature has to offer. That's what is being utilized in spirituality to aid you in your journey. So, you know, I don't see the evil that people are talking about, you know. And that's the knowledge that I came to. I didn't just listen to what somebody said, a story or anything. I had a tough time actually going through all of that knowledge and coming to the realization that the belief in the Christian belief that I had was really a belief. It was based on what someone else presented as the truth. And therein my journey led me now to try to verify the authenticity of the Bible, because I have a responsibility. I'm a person like that. I'm not just going to follow blindly. That is when I was younger. But as I grew older, I say, you know something? What am I passing on to my children? I have to really make sure that I have a responsibility to make sure the information is accurate and not misrepresented or adulterated, you know. I had to check. And then I came up with the idea that this was a belief system. It is a belief system.
but you know that
So,
the world is topsy-turvy.
but I've heard that.
Good would seem evil and evil would seem good.
Yeah,
So probably
because,
that's where you're coming from when you're saying that people
yeah.
saying that certain things are evil.
Certain practices, like the practices of our foreparents, our ancestors, you know, they had their way of connecting to God. It's not the same way as the Christians connected, you know, but it's their way. Just like the Hindus have their way they connect to God, the Muslims, you know, Buddha. I don't know all the different religious sects, but you know, each each race and ethnicity, they have different ways of connecting. Even the indigenous people, you know,
Yeah.
they have their way. What's the name of their thing? Forgive me, but you know, I always
Most of
say you do
these
your research.
people or these let's just say people, they do a lot of, let's say, spiritual rituals,
Yes, they do.
right? And as I say, in society now will tell you, parts of society will tell you that, okay, doing this is evil. Now, from you now, if you believe that, you would not even venture
Exactly.
to know or gain knowledge to know if that is evil or not, or right or wrong. So
And-
some people just stay away from these things and they just, oh, that's evil. I don't want nothing to do with that.
But then that is how maybe we give true meaning to that biblical text. And for lack of knowledge, people perish, because I have discovered that this new information that I have come across on my journey, it is so empowering. I was shocked at all the lies and misrepresentation that was given to our foreparents' way of life, their spirituality. And if you really think about it, when the slaves came, right? Imagine they were the only ones who were forbidden from practicing what they practiced before they captured them, which is their spirituality. Why is that so? The world never ended for all the thousands of years that they were practicing it, and suddenly they were forbidden. That should tell you
They were
something.
given the Bible.
And yes, that's at the exact moment you're forbidden from using your spirituality and continuing the traditions and the way of life of your forefathers, your foreparents.
So in
And
other
then
words-
you were given the Holy Bible.
So, in other words, we're saying evil was taken away and good was given to them.
Well, that is the perception, right? That is what I thought, I was taught all the time growing up. Well, they didn't even tell me they took away the spirituality. They didn't really place a lot of emphasis on that. But it's just the Bible. We're given the Bible,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, you can't call it a trade. That's something systematic. But the thing about it is, it has been so embedded in us that people fear even to research what our foreparents used in the past, how they lived, how they navigated this world, how, they had all this intelligence. They were surely connecting. They were connecting to source. And this is what I want you guys to just investigate. Don't just like how someone come and give you the Bible. When I ask most persons, how did you come to be a Christian? The popular answer,
My father or mother was
Yes.
a Christian and I followed through.
Tradition.
Tradition, yeah.
but you know what is the sad part? The tradition stopped up to slavery. Because if you truly are following tradition, it would have gone right back to your spirituality. But you see where it was cut?
Yeah.
There is where the division happened at slavery. You were cut off from following your ancestors' tradition. So now in 2022, in this era, this is a new energy that's on the earth. The energy is actually bringing out a lot of truths and unmasking a lot of lies. So that is the reason a lot of people are being more awakened now. Now is the time, because there's too much information floating around. We have the medium for the information to circulate.
Yeah.
There's, as I said in my post, there's no excuse. No excuses now. You are from greatness. You don't need any middleman to connect to your God, the God that is in you. So what's the excuse now? You just need to seek the real, true knowledge. Go back to source.
All right. I heard you mentioned ancestors, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you think it's evil to communicate with spirits, like your ancestors that died?
Of course not. Jesus Christ died and you were told to communicate with him. You see? Because he came as a human being, and if it's not evil to connect with Jesus Christ, if you
not
want to
evil.
reason it that way,
Yeah.
I can
He's
I
a
can
spirit.
be deemed crazy if I say I'm communicating with my ancestors, who I can verify some of them. Like, okay, my father died last year. I knew that he was a real man walking this earth.
So if you
I
try,
can,
so
I,
if
that's
you try
knowledge.
to
No, that's
contact it-
knowledge. That's not belief. That's knowledge. That's the difference. I can say for a fact that my father walked the face of this earth. I met him. You know, I can verify that. So when I'm communicating with a person who truly existed and is still existing, but just in the form of energy, spiritual. Carnal body is no more. So, but with Jesus Christ now, I cannot verify that. I'm trying to trace it, and the only evidence that's presenting is the Holy Bible. But the Holy Bible is a claim because it's based on a belief system.
Yeah.
You see?
Because there's even how it's controversy with whether Jesus is black, whether he's white.
Yeah.
You know, nobody knows.
And
Nobody
I
knows.
truly don't think that God is the author of confusion too. So why would he have it scattered and everybody just doing their own thing and you fighting this person fighting that person? You don't know.
But
It's creating a
if you're
lot
saying
of...
God is not a God of confusion, how come the Bible is so confusing or contradicting in certain parts? That is the word of God.
That's the question.
So
That's the question. But you see, it's a
that's
question.
confusing me now too.
Look, it's a question that a lot of people are very much afraid to open up and ask their pastors because you see, you have this big threatening hell hanging over your head, you know, and you know, you just like, all you do is just like, yes, you just take it like a sheep, you know. But it doesn't make sense. You have a brain and you can't analyze and question. Because how would you truly say that you accept a belief system or the knowledge or whatever if you cannot question and critically think and get the answers that would convince you? It's like you're actually being a hypocrite in a way because you don't even know why you believe. It's like blindly because you're not seeing any evidence or anything. You just say, I believe, because you know a lot of people come with the pastors and it's very empowering sermons and, you know, very emotional, and people believe, you know, it's an acceptance of someone else's truth, someone else's recollection, someone else's presentation of facts. But do I know if that person has presented the facts, the true facts? It's my responsibility. The Bible even said you must search for the truth. And as my search for the truth that got me out of Christianity and back to check to see what my ancestors were doing. And these are people, are traceable individuals. You know?
Yeah.
It's recorded in history. So I know it's real. It's not by faith. This is the truth by knowledge. The evidence is in Kemet, in Egypt, Kemet, the original name. The evidence is there.
But you know, this topic is a very lengthy topic. I think
Yeah,
you should
we'll be going
actually
on
do
time.
I think you should do a live
That's a good suggestion. That's a great
and
suggestion.
get people involved. You know, let's hear what people actually have to say, and or even if probably get somebody with knowledge to come and give their side of wherever, you know,
The belief system.
yeah, the belief
Yes.
system, you know, somebody who's knowledgeable of the Bible,
Yes.
everything.
I'm gonna definitely do that. So you guys, I'm gonna put out the date that I'm gonna do my live. I'm gonna let you guys know, and I'm gonna be looking forward to your interaction. If you can clarify for me, explain, you know, shed light, I'm willing to listen to your views. Let's just really come to some kind of understanding of what is going on, because lots of people are confused, but they're afraid to ask questions. So I think I went extra long this evening. You know who to blame, right? but it's well worth it because you know you have something to chew on, you have some information you can check. So I'm gonna wrap it up, not to keep you too long. It's almost half an hour. Thank you for
And
spending this
just
time.
one more question
Sure.
before we go.
Sure.
In the beginning, when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge, there was the tree of life. Why didn't God just let them eat from the tree of life and everything would have been fine? That's the next topic.
That's the next topic. Stories for another night. Anyway, on that note, I think we have put a lot of seeds out there. And I think you guys should go and do a little research. So when I come on my live, you could assist me with the understanding of the other side. So, any parting words, DJ Smalls?
No?
Okay, thank you. That's all the time we have because I know it's almost 30 minutes. And I would just like to encourage you to like, subscribe, and share. Please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much. And I'll be seeing you on the other side. Blessed week to you guys. Love you.
Bye.